going to start with, very basically, an onion. This is just a white onion, because the flavour is going to come from the smoked bacon and from the lovely free-range eggs from Too Good Farm, just a mile down the road. And then pop these into a pan with a little bit of oil or some butter. You will get some fat from the bacon as well. I'll leave a little bit of bacon fat on. And the idea is you don't want to brown the onions, so you don't want them too fierce. You want them to just soften and go clear, translucent. Smoked bacon gives a much nicer flavour. You get a real smoky softness about the egg, and it mixes in really well with the eggs and the cream and the milk that I'm going to use. I'm using full local milk from Maudsley. And then while the bacon, the onions are cooking, just want to chop the bacon, including a little bit of the fat to give some moisture and some flavour, into a bowl. And you don't have to be precise about this, just as long as there's sort of bite-sized chunks. So just mix your bacon in, and within a few minutes you'll get a really lovely scent of that coming out. The pastry I'm using today is a bought one. This is Saxby's, but you can get Just Roll and various other supermarket-owned labels. Nothing wrong with it, as I say. These are just a vehicle for the flavouring of what's going in them. Because it's quite warm in here, I'm going to put a little bit of flour on the board, just to stop it sticking. Put your flour into a little bowl, rather than taking it straight out from the packet. Then you're not putting dampness from your hands into the packet, or introducing any infection or microbes and things back into the packet. It's really easy to do. You just lift the edge and roll it. Then put your tray directly underneath, making sure you've got enough to lip over the edges. Pop it back and then drop it in like that. So you want it actually going into what would be the edges of the base of the tin, otherwise it'll stretch as it cooks and the egg mixture will go underneath the pastry and spoil it. Now all the little trimmings you can mix back together and make another, perhaps a little individual quiche if you want. To finish off the edges, just take a sharp knife, round the edge like that, move it round the edge. It's quite funny, I'm going to show you how to crimp the edges. But the simple way of doing it, again, finger and thumb into the flour just to stop it sticking, is to take your thumb and push it in and bring your finger back against it, just like that. So all you're doing is pushing and pulling back, just putting a thumbprint in really. And by doing this, it also raises the edges of the pastry up so you can get more filling in. So it's a nice deep, filling, satisfying quiche. Pop your flan, when it's done, into the fridge for a few minutes. That will firm it up. So, very quickly, as I say, this is only about 5 minutes from starting. The bacon is starting to shrink a little, and the onions are virtually cooked through. And in another minute or so, I'll turn those off and let them start cooling before I put them into the flan case. So, the filling. As I say, local full milk, because it gives good flavour. Again, local cream, double cream I'm using because it's a bit decadent and it makes a lovely filling. And free-range eggs. Now it's going to do 3 eggs in this, and then just lightly mix them up. I'm not going to put salt in because salt can cause the eggs to split and go either watery or leathery. So I'm going to put black pepper in. So this is 3 eggs, a couple of grinds of fresh ground black pepper, which gives a really nice flavour, a splash of milk, sort of count 1, 2, and that's your splash of milk, and about the same of double cream, 1, 2. Quite generous double cream amount there. Not the one to do if you're on a Weight Watching programme, I'd have to say, but it's a nice treat. And then just incorporate it all together. This is a traditional Lancashire crumbly. A lot of people say, oh, I wouldn't have thought of putting crumbly, I'd have put tasty into a quiche. But this gives you a creaminess and a richness without taking away from the bacon and the onion flavour. And talking of which, there we go, that's absolutely as you want it now. You don't want it browned because you don't want to make the mixture bitter. You want it just to have a lovely flavour. So that gets turned off. Leave it to cool, because if you put it into the pastry now, it'll make the pastry soggy, and then you're putting your egg on so it could coagulate and actually start cooking. So while you're doing that, waiting for that to cool, I'm just going to get a grater, a large plate, and grate a bit of the Lancashire crumbly. As I say, this gives you a lovely richness to the dish and a bit of sort of glue really for the top of the mixture. So the pastry mix, the dish there with the pastry, I haven't pricked the bottom because you don't want the egg mix running underneath and spoiling and catching. This will come out absolutely perfectly. It'll slide straight out of the dish as soon as it's cooked. So I've got the egg mix there, the cheese is done, the mixture's ready, so I'm going to pop the mixture. Still a little warm, but I shall. So spread that round, and you want it to the edges so everybody's going to get a taste of the bacon and the onion cream and the milk and the black pepper. You don't want any herbs, and if you put herbs in at this stage they will go black and bitter, so you put them in on the top as they come out of the oven. Leave a little bit of space because it's going to rise up a little bit, and you need to put your cheese on the top, and then just sprinkle the cheese all over, and this will melt down beautifully. Just spread it around. Oh, I've got a lump there, missed. So that goes into the oven for about 20 minutes. So with the thyme, when it's fresh and soft like this, and the supermarket ones tend to be like this and sort of very light and spruey, if you take the top of the thyme and just run your fingers back, the leaves should come off. Just during the course of it cooking, if you want to just check it, let's turn it. It's still a little bit wobbly in the middle, and you want it to be golden all around the edge, so I'm going to pop it in for another 5 minutes. Just turn it up a bit to colour the top, so it's going up to 200 now. So you want it to have a little bit of wobble still in the middle. You can see that just slightly shaking there. It's very hot, so do be careful, always use a cloth. And then put a knife or a skewer right into the middle. Press it down to the tin so you can feel the give in the tin. Take it out, and if the knife comes out clean, a bit like doing a sponge, you know that it's cooked. Just sprinkle the parsley and thyme on the top, and this will actually stick on with the heat. Once it gets warm, it'll wilt a bit and stick onto the Lancashire Lorraine, and it'll release the smell of the oil in the thyme particularly. And then to break into it, you can see you've got the lovely egg mixture all firm with the cheese on the top. And then for proof of the pudding, I think Josie might like to have a taste and give us her opinion, what she thinks of it.
No, I did agree.
It's lovely.
Yeah, it's hot.
Converted you to try making quiche Lorraine. Bit better than the supermarket, isn't it? Because what they do is they have a very thick base, a bit like me, have a big bottom, and it's the cheapest ingredient is the pastry, so they fill it up with
It's actually very thin. I didn't expect it to be this thin, but that's nice. I don't,
very
you don't
nice
want
and
a
crisp.
stodgy.
But as I say, it's beautiful cold as well.
Oh, crumbly cheese.
And we've converted.